we're going to recap today's practice, this jog through. We'll talk about all these offensive tackles we've been looking at lately. Let me tell you why I need to know. We signed a wide receiver, former Dolphin, former 49ers player that Adam Peters is familiar with. We signed a couple of DBs this week. We'll talk about it. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and roll to 8,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, and let's get right into today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe, stay healthy, and let's get right into today's video. Welcome back to the PSN Commanders Never Known Protest Sports Network. Gotti Tech back on the video. I got to glory to God. I got to turn on the doors. People in today's video. I'm here at the Washington Commanders. If I get too far into today's video, I think again, I give you guys work for the day already. So let's get right to today's video. So we're gonna recap today's practice, and then actually I didn't give you guys a verse today. I'm tripping. Here we go. Hebrews 11, verse 1 says as follows. Now in faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for. By faith we understand that the universe is formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. That is the verse of the day. Let's get right to this video. So I'm going to give you guys a quick synopsis of practice, and then we'll go to all the guys we signed lately. So let's do it. So let's start with the joint practice being canceled. So Commanders head coach Dan Quinn has confirmed that the joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens has been canceled. That makes good sense. We played the Bengals Monday night, and then we'll let spin a block and do a joint practice. That's something that doesn't make sense. Then the Ravens got tough like 10-day stretch ahead of them as well. It still makes sense to have the joint practice. I do agree with it. Dan Quinn on the cancel joint practice. Sometimes just schedules don't sync up as it hits. I was visiting with John last night. We were bummed. We had a lot of respect for them and looking forward, and we're looking forward to them. Dan Quinn said it doesn't affect time decisions for starters. Playing time decisions for starters. Go back. Oh no, I just did that. So the Stars will play the same amount of time against the Bengals regardless. The Commanders have announced their signed safety Daryl Worley. He has played 99 career games and 64 starts with 7 different franchises. Daryl Worley is just a journeyman that's not going to make this team. Not worry about it too much. Call of the joint practice makes sense for both sides. Washington plays Monday night. Then they will have a joint practice 3 days later. And then a game 2 days after that. Ravens trade with Dallas, Finn to Washington. Both teams have injuries for his health. Completely agree with that. Now, the signing that we did today at the wide receiver room, we have signed wide receiver River Craycraft. He has 32 receptions, including 25 with the town with the Dolphins. He's the guy that cooked Benjamin St. Juice on a fade route. Well, actually, what was that? Over and up route in the preseason last season. You remember River Craycraft. Rio had a huge rant about that one, about St. Juice getting cooked by a third-string wide receiver. It was hilarious, and it was a beautiful thing to hear. And now this guy's here. So welcome, River Craycraft, to the Washington Commanders, sir. You will not make this team. I do not care. But welcome, sir. Welcome to your three-week home. Welcome. I'm sorry. I'm standing on it. He's not making this team. I'll be surprised to make this team. Now, the only makes this team is everyone just kind of just folds. This is the new bubble, man. This is the new bubble. Upgraded bubble. upgraded bubble. Everybody in the joint going crazy on, bro. Everybody doing a thug this one. And they released Michael Strahan. He wasn't making his team, so I didn't really care if he got cut or not. He wasn't making his team anyway. River Crabtree played for the 49ers in 2020 and 2021. Makes sense. We have also hosted veteran offensive tackle George Fant, and the two sides remain with contact with each other per George Schultz, raise hell. We're looking at a lot of offensive tackles. I'm going to talk about that a little later in today's video. But we tried 4 DBs out today. Q Knight. I'm not pronouncing that name. Sorry, not doing it. Trey Rucker and Jason Taylor and Daryl Worley. We decided to sign Daryl Worley. Also signed a former Chargers corner the other day. And TonyHamilton is another veteran corner we signed the other day. We signed a lot of veteran defensive backs lately. Very interesting. Jordan McGee back on the field for this walkthrough. Still no Coleman, still no Noah Brown. No surprises there. I don't think Coleman is going to see a football field until week 1. That's just my guess. As for Noah Brown, I think the same thing of Noah Brown. He doesn't play Monday night. He's not seeing the field until week 1 versus the Giants. Bill out here in a non-contact jersey. Wonder his availability for Monday night. I think it's time to put Jakari Krosky-Merritt in bubble wrap and send his preseason to the shadow realm. Let's end his preseason there. We got a couple carries. We saw what we could do. Go put his butt on the daggone bench and get him ready for the Giants. Period. Next. Offensive line going for some indie drills, individual work. Also, new bubble vibes. The vibes is litty. Coach Bobby Ingram giving some one-on-one to Ja'Cory Brooks. Okay. Julian Jones getting some first-team work at left guard. Josh Conley at left tackle. Body at right tackle. No Tunzel out here today. What's up with Laremy Tunzel? Veteran day off? Or something's up with him. We need to know. Jacob Martin, another guy getting some good amount of work with the first-team defense. I might be discounting Jacob Martin a little bit. He might make this team after all. Marcus Mariota and Jaden Daniels getting a good throwing session post-practice. Mariota has not practiced in some time, but it's thought to be nothing major. You need to figure out nothing serious anymore. Marcus is a veteran. He don't need that many. He don't need many reps anyway at this point. Marcus Mariota gets some work in after practice on the field with quarterbacks coach Davita Pritchard, Jaden Daniels, and first-string quarterback Josh Johnson. The Commanders work out offensive tackle Cam Fleming today, sources say. No signing, but the sides remain in touch with each other moving forward. Fleming worked out for the Chargers as well. Why are we looking at all of these offensive tackles? Is something wrong with Laremy Tunzel? I need to know. Is Laremy Tunzel okay? I need to know. This is very weird. I don't like this. We've worked out 3 offensive tackles the last 2 days. I don't like this. What is up with my boy, Mr. Rosebar, Privilege, U Street, during OTAs himself, Laremy Tunzel? Is he good, gang? Is he good, gang? He all right? I think he all right, but that might mean Foster Sorrell might not be doing too good either. It could mean one or two things. They need a Band-Aid for Laremy till week 1, or it could also mean, Foster Sorrell ain't playing too well. I don't know. This whole Nicky Gervais said something about the Commanders, about the vibes or something, and everybody took out of context. I'm not talking about that crap. Sorry, not doing it. Hell no. Yeah, so we worked out Cam Fleming and George Fant this morning. And then signed you, but do have an open roster spot. I wonder why we're looking at offensive tackle so hard, though. So I just find that kind of interesting. That was about it from today's practice. I don't see anything else. I don't. Okay. So also Leonard Wilhelm dropped this nugget on us. Last season, McLaurin had 24 contested catches, which is 4 more most among all wide receivers in the last 6 seasons. He's caught 70.6% of contested targets, which is better than any wide receiver with at least 20 contested targets in a season over the last 6 years. McLaurin's 9 touchdowns on contested catches last year were the most by a wide receiver in a season over the last 6 years. Interesting stats here. And he said, wow. And he said, wow, look at the contested catch numbers from Terry McLaurin last year. Discussing these jaw-dropping numbers right now in Team 980. Commanders need Terry more than Terry needs Commanders. I should disagree with that. I think we need each other equally. He doesn't have a better situation to win a Super Bowl right now that he can get traded to that will give him the money that he wants more than the Washington Commanders. Also, the Commanders do need Terry because we're not winning a Super Bowl without him. We'll barely make the playoffs without him if we get in. I think we do get in, though. But we won't win a playoff game without Terry. I'd say that much. And I'm going to stand on that. So, that's just my thoughts on that. So, that's my thoughts on that. And Isaiah Bond has stuff the case going on. I don't know what's going on with that. My name Ben. I ain't on out. But I hope Larry Returns is okay. I don't think it's nothing serious. Don't know what's going on with that. River Craycraft, I care less. Daryl Worley, I really care less. I don't think these guys are making the team. But they will have a chance to audition for the other 31 teams around the league and see what they can do. And that is today's recap. Bill was in a non-contact jersey. There's no real updates on Brandon Coleman. Jordan McGee was out there with no non-contact jersey. I heard otherwise. So it's like he's kind of getting closer to ready to go. I wouldn't play him till week 1 either. I want my guy ready for week 1. I don't want to play none of these dudes who have some ailments, got something going on with them. Sit they behind until week 1. You can do the same thing you did in the Patriots game. I don't care about winning preseason games. I care about winning the game when they count on the win and loss column. And we need all these guys, all hands on deck, especially we don't know what's going on with Terry McLaurin. We need all these guys on deck ready to play. End of story. So that's going to do today's video, guys. Love you guys with love of Christ. Have a good day. Have a great evening. You stay healthy. Stay safe. Peace.